Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this episode of the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Today I'm going to be sat with Tim Dawes and his daughter, and we're going to be talking about child.org and all the great things that they're doing there. Tim is running a few events, at least 2 events in Shrewsbury to try and help out. His daughter works for child.org and he's very proud of what she does, and to support her he's running a couple of events, one of which is a poetry evening with cheese and wine, and that's going to be on the 20th of this month. So make sure you look for that on Facebook and check it out. I'll be going as well. So even, because I'm going, it's a great opportunity to go. I'm joking. But no, it's a great opportunity to go and support a great charity. And yeah, so I've also this weekend yesterday morning I woke up and I read the news that Zach Oliver, the 4-year-old from Telford, that was trying to raise. It was late last year. Was trying to raise £500,000 to try and get over to Philadelphia for treatment for a rare case of leukemia, and everybody rallied round. There was the Zach Fest. Everyone was wearing red for Zach. I was giving him a bit of a boost on my other podcast and reaching out to celebrities that are around my show and stuff for help. So I really tried to help. I got into it late on, so I couldn't really organise a good charity thing, but we tried to raise awareness. So when I saw the news this morning, yesterday morning, should I say, about Zach's cancer-free now, so he raised the £500,000. He got over to Philadelphia, he had the treatment, and this brave little boy is now cancer-free. How amazing is that? It's a brilliant story. It's definitely movie-worthy. God knows what that family have been through. But all I can say is I really do admire their courage and bravery, and well done to Zach. And I really do wish him the best. And I'd love to get him on the show. I think it'd be a great interview, to be honest. A good hour just to pick the brains of the parents that have been through just absolute hell and torment, but also this amazing thing that's happened at the end. So anyway, this is this is a great episode I did with Tim. I got to speak with him and his daughter for the first sort of 20 minutes, and afterwards we talked a bit about. I really liked him, and we spoke a little bit at during the Darwin Festival, but we couldn't really spend a long time sort of chatting about him, So it was good to talk about his poetry and what he does, because he's a good guy, and I wanted to share a bit more of him with you guys. So hope you enjoy it. And if you got any comments, any suggestions, make sure you write them down, send them to me. The email is shrewsburybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook. We've got the Facebook group there, the Shrewsbury Biscuit Podcast. And thank you very much for all your support. And I'll catch you next week. Enjoy the show. Peace out. Hi, Tim. Thank you very much for coming back on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. We had a bit of a chat, didn't we, during the Darwin Festival?
We did, yes. Darwin Festival's all finished now, all wrapped up. They're really good. Yeah.
And now we can move on to talk about other things. But that festival was quite great. I was very time constrained, so we had a very small chat. So it's nice to have you on. I think I did say, with what's going on with this and what we're about to talk about.
Child.org, yeah.
Child.org.
Yeah.
And joined with us now is your daughter, Ellie. Hi, Ellie.
All the way from the big place down south.
In London, are you?
Yeah, I'm in that London. Yeah,
in that London.
I'm in the Child.org office.
Wow! And so how did you get the job at Child.org? It sounds like an amazing job to have.
Oh wow! What a question. So I've worked with Child.org for about 4 years. When I came to work for the charity, there were actually just 4 of us in the room, working with companies in Kenya on the ground to deliver projects. And
Yeah.
during that, and I used to work at a cancer charity, and my boss came over to be managing director of this charity, and he called me up and asked me to come and work for child.org. And during that time, we've rebranded the charity. We've launched our own. We've launched a new office in Kenya. We've got our own office in Nairobi. We've hired our own Kenyan staff. We're delivering our products on our own out there as an organisation. And there are now about 20 people employed by the organisation.
That sounds amazing. Sounds like you're doing quite a bit there. Have you been out there to see the Kenyan offices and things like that?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I went out a couple of years ago to run some training with our new Kenyan team on collecting and telling stories of our beneficiaries. So
That's
to help
amazing. That's
the
amazing.
guys here, know what we're doing with all their money. So yeah, it's been really inspiring. We're very closely linked with the Kenyan team. We're on Slack with them all day. We chat with them all the time. It's like we're in the same office most of the time. But yeah, it really is. It's something else to go out there and see what the work is achieving.
She's doing a good job.
Yeah. And very proud of her. Yeah.
And so I was looking at your website, and it's really cool. There's lots of information, lots of things to do, and I was reading part on Team Mom. Can you explain what Team Mom is? What's that?
So Team Mum is a huge deal for Child.org. We're a very small charity, and the biggest fundraising campaign we've ever run before raised about £6,000. Team Mum is aiming to raise £150,000. We're working with mother and baby brands and bloggers and companies and influencers across the country who are getting on board, and it's essentially a partnership between Child.org, the mums in rural Kenya who we're working with, and the mums here in the UK who want to change the lives of women who are giving birth in difficult circumstances. So yeah, it's really exciting. And the coolest part is it's supported by the UK government, which again is the first time that we've worked with the Department for International Development, which means that if you donate in support of Team Mum before the 30th of April, the UK government will match your donation with UK aid.
Sounds brilliant. And what does the money go to? I mean, of course, I know. I've been on the website, but let the listeners know what the money goes to. What people are sponsoring, what they give money for.
So what we're trying to do is create pregnancy support groups in rural Kenya. So this is in Kenya, 1 in 26 babies die before they reach their first birthday. It's a place where it's actually really dangerous to become a mum, give birth, or indeed be born. And one of the really simple ways that we can really make a big difference in this area, all the evidence suggests, is by just supporting mums with the kind of basic health information and support that they would get here in the UK.
Yeah.
You think about when you have a baby here in the UK and you're supported by the NHS and you have an NCT group and you can Google on the internet what to do if you're experiencing something and you're wondering if it's weird or if it's wrong, and you make a birth plan and you make a plan to have your baby in a safe environment and you know how that birth's going to go and all of these kind of things. It's just providing that exactly same information to the women who are living really far off, quite remote parts of Kenya where it's hard to reach them with health service.
I bet someone, say if someone came from Kenya, freshly from Kenya, and was just moved over to the UK, and they'd see what everything that pregnant mothers get over here, might make them feel a bit pig sick. Like you get the bounty packs, you get the some people get grants, you get quite a lot compared to over there. It must be quite hard to see.
It's quite extraordinary. Like actually, while I was working on the campaign, my sister Daisy had a baby, and so it was really funny working with my team in Kenya and experiencing what that system's like here in the UK at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember went to an NCT class with my sister, and then the next day I was having a conversation with my colleague Cheerio about we were delivering baby boxes in Nairobi to mums for a safe place for their baby to sleep. And to encourage them to go to postnatal care. And I'd put the local emergency number on the top of the box because we had these are the warning signs to look out for. Contact this number if you're experiencing any of these. And Cheerio said to me, she was like, there's no point putting that number on. She said, we'll be a laughingstock. No one rings that number. No one comes. And I said, well, I said, Cheerio, what's the point of putting these warning signs for mums to look out for on the box if there's nowhere to go? And I was like, can they take their baby to a health centre? And she was like, oh yeah, that's what we'll tell them to do. So these mums who often don't have transport have to get their baby to a health centre if they're seeing something wrong. So when you hear those small examples about the differences, you can see where the discrepancy in like survival rate happens. It's not like one big disease or thing that's killing all these babies. It's the accumulation of lots of small things. Most of the mums in Kenya, for example, in our last program, we had 9 mums involved in the program who had twins. And only one of those mums could afford to have a scan before she gave birth. The scan didn't show up that she was having twins. So all 9 of those mums were completely unaware that they were having twins until they arrived.
Oh my God, that sounds so bizarre. We're kind of used to in the UK scan after scan after scan, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we couldn't. Yeah, when Otis, my nephew, was born, like we couldn't have been more aware of what that baby was going to be like.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a completely different world, isn't it? You know, people take for granted in this country the small things like, you know, being able to go to the shop and buy paracetamol and antibiotics and you know, the small luxuries that we get like that, you know. So I think it's really important that we do our best to help because it's not widely available over there by their government, obviously. So let's do what we can. And what are you up to, Tim? You're helping, aren't you? You're trying to do your bit.
Well, I mean, all over the country, people are running various fundraising activities because, as Ellie says, for every pound that we manage to raise, the government will give us another pound towards it, and that's going to make a real difference. I mean, you know, just 10 or 20 pounds makes a massive difference. You're talking about that translates into a service for an individual mother in Kenya. So there's lots to do. So I'm running a couple of very simple events, just really to help and support. One of them is tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow not on the when this goes out, so it will have already happened.
It just shows that you're progressing with things.
We're starting with just a simple coffee morning tomorrow, and then on April the 20th, we have a number of women coming into my house, which is 72 Abbey Foregate. Come along there at 7:30 because we're going to fill the house with people listening to poetry, and there'll be wine and cheese and, you know, a general convivial, very informal atmosphere and poetry, mainly by women, about women and about the experience of being a woman and
I'm gonna go.
Children. Yeah,
I'm gonna be there. It sounds very empowering. Well, I'm gonna be there. Well done for doing that. You know, so not only just for being a great patron of this, but supporting your daughter as well. That's really cool of you. You know, I was just looking at the.
She supported me rather a lot over the years. I think she's still in credit. I'm still in credit, or she's still in credit, or whatever it is. I used to run festivals at one time. I'm sort of more or less retired from that now, but it was always all too easy to pick up the phone and say, "Ellie, what are you doing next weekend? I could do with somebody to help." Blah blah blah.
Go and wave a flag for me. Yeah, bless you. That's cool.
Yeah, we say in the charity world, if you can't persuade, if your staff won't ask their family and friends to do it, then you can't ask strangers to do it. Like, it's a sign of whether your fundraising offers and like what you're asking people to contribute to and do to contribute to it is going to work if you're happy to ask your friends and family to do it. And like the support from my friends and family on this campaign has been incredible.
Getting through to a stranger in a very short space of time, it can be a matter of seconds. It's really hard. And I'm speaking from a really selfish point of view now, because I was trying to get interviews for the Shrewsbury Biscuit around Christmas. Hey, are you ready for Christmas? With a microphone, and people just, they're rude. They're rude. I wasn't expecting it. Like, I can't imagine what people like from Child.org or whatever charities standing on a high street trying to get attention from people. It's hard. It's really, really hard.
Yeah, we're hoping to do a bit of that around Mother's Day. We've actually got a slot to have choirs in Waterloo and Paddington stations in London. So we're hoping that we'll be able to find some choirs to volunteer to come and sing in the station and ask for people to donate on the spot there. So I think that'll be really lovely.
Well, as long as you don't ask me to sing, I don't think that would be productive.
People will pay you to stop.
It would, actually, yeah.
I love it. Oh, God. So yeah, you're doing this. So I was looking at all the different packs and think of the options you got on the website. So there's like the £10 for £10 you can buy a, what's the starter pack, the baby starter pack? What's in that then?
It's actually a more difficult question than you would think, because we haven't started creating the program yet, because we haven't raised the money for it yet. So the
Oh, okay.
exact contents of the pack will be part of what we need to pay for is the design and of specific aspects of the pregnancy support program.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I know is going to be in it is a weighing bag, because we know that mothers in this area, sometimes they're going to the local health centres, and then unless they bring their own bag with them for the baby to be in to be weighed, then they don't get to find out the weight of their baby, which is a really important health indicator.
That's crazy.
So that's one of the things that will be in the bag. Likely like baby hats, that's something we've given out in the past, and nappies, that kind of thing, reusable nappies. But the main function of that baby support pack, if you pay the £10 and pay for that, is it encourages the mum to come along and start attending the groups. And what we found previously is like encouraging mums to attend that postnatal care is one of the barriers that you have to get through, because if you're not provided with those services at the moment, you don't find out how useful they are until you go. So one of the really important functions of providing mums with the pregnancy support back is they go along and they attend all the training programs.
Building that relationship and kind of encouraging them.
Exactly, yeah. And we found with women's groups that we're running in country at the moment that once you bring the women together, they see the value of having that community and supporting each other, and then those groups will just go on, and they're sustainable as well. It's not something that we're planning to fund forever into the future. It's a program that's designed for us to set it up, and then hopefully the impact of it will just go on and on.
It sounds great. It really does sound great. I mean, the website is fantastic. It's really bright, and it seems like you found a way to communicate with people. You know, people do want to help. You know, but there's a lot of people that will just walk by now. No. I mean, I had a guy knock on the door for Hope House the other day, and I'd love to help him out, but I do a lot for charity. I've got this stupid hair at the moment. I'm growing my hair for a year to raise awareness for alopecia and cancer. You know, I want to make a wig for someone, hopefully.
Oh wow!
So I'm walking around like an idiot for a year to make money. You know, because I kind of look like Bill Bailey at the moment. You know, so. I mean, Tim's been seeing me go to these events during the Darwin Festival. I've either had a baseball cap on because my hair's just gone poof, or I'm just, you know. So it's nice to see people want to help, and you found a way of communicating with people. You made quite a bit already, and that's really good. I hope you make the whole 150.
Yeah,
you know.
I once did a month in pajamas for Child.org. That was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, your mother did that as well, didn't she?
Yeah, my mum joined me for a week. Yeah. It was easier to do in London because no one cares what you look like. No one really looks twice.
Commuting
And
to
my
work.
mum joined in like her local town. She got a few more odd looks. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that though. I've got a couple of cool onesies. I've got Batman onesie upstairs. I will rock the Batman onesie down the street. What would you encourage people to do? I mean, I know your dad's taking part, and he said there's people countrywide doing things. What are people doing? Is there anything that stands out to mind?
So something really easy actually to do if you work in a team or an office, we have a Royal Baby Sweepstake option. So if you go to child.org/GoTeamMum, you can find out how to run a Royal Baby Sweepstake, download it, put all the names in the hat, guess what Harry and Meghan's baby is going to be called, and make a donation as a result of that. It's like you can just donate. If you go to child.org/teammum and donate, your donation will be doubled. People are having cake sales. People are doing, this week is International Women's Day, so lots of people are holding International Women's Day quizzes. We have a quiz pack, so if anyone would like to hold a quiz at their local group, we can send you the questions for that. That's been written by a feminist quiz company down in London. It's absolutely hilarious. And what else have we got? People are doing supper clubs, so cooking for their friends. Me and my fiance Sam are running a Bad Place themed supper club.
Wow.
Themed on the Netflix show The Good Place, where we're going to cook loads of meat and
I love that Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
I love that Kristen Bell.
Have frozen yogurt. So like really any kind of fundraising that you do, we're here to support you with it as well. So if you go to child.org and get in touch with us, ask us we've got some beautiful posters, leaflets, donation envelopes that we'd love to send out to people if they want to get involved.
Yeah, so there's a lot of material. I mean, the quiz material is quite stunning. I mean, there's you get the whole lot. You get the answer sheets, you get the sort of posters, you get the picture quiz round and all that sort of stuff. And all you need to do is print it off and go, basically.
Sounds
You
great.
even get wonky boob bunting in the.
You
in
do.
the
I
quiz
wasn't
pack.
going to mention that, but yeah.
What's this?
So the feminist company who wrote the quiz for us, they're very big on like body positivity and demystifying the female
Okay.
form. So if you buy the International Women's Day quiz pack, you have cut out and decorate boob bunting that has boobs in all different shapes and sizes that you can hang around your house.
And who doesn't want one of those?
Who wouldn't want boob bunting in your quiz?
Invite the in-laws round. I'll just enjoy my bunting. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure Shrewsbury's ready for that yet, but maybe it is. Who knows?
I don't know. There's lots of great
Maybe it
things
is.
coming at the moment. You know.
Yeah, when we came up to visit my dad, my sister was breastfeeding right in the middle of Shrewsbury Market, getting her
Yeah. Good.
nipple.
Well, I've always waited for, because my wife is very positive about breastfeeding, feeding things. I mean, I was waiting for that one guy to come off me like, you can't do that in public, but it never happened. I mean, I think people are more positive about it than
No, they do. I was in last week. There was somebody breastfeeding in the market. It's quite common now. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, the market seems to be the place where people go to breastfeed.
It's
It's a great place. You can get a gin while you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you come up to? Do you come
helps the baby sleep. You know.
Yeah. Do you come up to Shrewsbury often then? See if your dad?
Yeah, quite often. I think we're talking about coming up over Easter. Yeah. I love Shrewsbury. It's like I have really fond memories of being up there to visit. My gran lived in Telford when we were growing up, and we always used to come up for Easter. Yeah, it's beautiful. We came up. We went around the Abbey for Shrewsbury's Town Fair when my dad had just moved up, and I came up with my boyfriend, who's very like city. He was born in Hong Kong and then has lived in London for most of his life. And he walked in, and everyone was like, "Oh, hello, how are you?" And he's like, "All these people are talking to me. They're so friendly. Why are they all talking to us? They don't know us." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what."
I like Shrewsbury because it's like a hybrid. It's kind of a busy town, but it's not like. I mean, I was in London about 3 weeks ago, and it was, oh my God, it was crazy. I took my little boy to see Big Ben, which is a mistake because it's wrapped up at the moment. You can't even see it. And we were walking around there, and it was like a rock concert. Honestly, it was that busy. I was just like, you couldn't move. So it was nice to come home to this, you know, kind of a little bit of in between. Yeah.
Yeah, you forget. I always think everywhere else is quiet because we go there at the weekend, but I forget that it's quiet like that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Well, I hope this goes really well. I think it's a really great cause. There's definitely an overwhelming gap growing between the rich and the poor. We could sit here and talk about that all day, but I feel like it shouldn't be up to us to help. So I'm glad that the government are kind of doing their bit as well. You know.
Absolutely.
A lot of people criticising, you know, how much we spend on UKA, but I think it's one of the best things we've done. It's something that makes me really proud of being in this country, that we have taken the UN commitment to 0.7% of GDP in overseas aid, and that's, you know, this is just one of many millions of examples. You hear of people saying, "Oh, it's all going on arms and all this sort of thing." It isn't. It's going to support charities in the field and local organisations that are really doing good things. So, you know, it's great to know your taxes are going in that direction.
Yeah.
I would really love people to know how great the project has to be in order to get this UK aid match. Like the level of like due diligence that Child.org as a small organisation has gone through, the application that we processed, that we went through, the impact, the potential for impact that we had to prove for these pregnancy support groups. The level is so high. It's, you know, above anything that you would have to in a normal day job come and prove the impact of something to get funding for. It's actually, it's incredible. And I think if the members of the public knew how wisely that UK aid match money is allocated when they're working with charities, I think people would be much more hopeful about it.
And let's be honest, like 2 million is nothing. Nothing, is it? I mean, there's a very slim amount of budget.
Yeah, but focus properly, you can do a lot of good with £2 million.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's about focus and how you use the money, really, isn't it?
I mean, compared to what else we waste our money on, you know, 2 million for us is nothing, but to Kenya, it'd be amazing.
It's a lot cheaper than Brexit.
I'd say it's costing us already, and it's not even gone through yet. So, what would you suggest for? Are you going to be doing this again next year, Team Mum?
I hope so. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But
There's a lot of
yeah,
buzz about it. Is there a lot of people talking about it?
Exactly, and if you donate to Team Mum as well, there's an option to donate to Team Mum monthly. So if you're interested in funding not just this programme, but Child.org's mother and baby programming going forward, you can sign up to a monthly donation, and we'll send you adorable emails about all of the cool stuff that we're doing in Kenya. We've got some exciting plans in Sierra Leone. Our mother and baby stuff is really expanding, and it's an exciting time to get involved. So
Sierra
do
Leone is
Team Mum.
is the worst place in the world to be born. I was reading the other day, isn't that right?
Yeah, I think so. It's one of the most dangerous places to give birth. Certainly, 1 in 17 women in Sierra Leone die in childbirth.
1 in 17. That's extraordinary.
Women,
yeah.
It's one of those countries that are war torn and just left to get on with it, wasn't it? You know. Terrible, you know. Well, look, listeners, I really do encourage you to try and help. Visit the website, child.org, and there's a thing there that says Team Mom, red letters. Just click on that. It takes you to all the information you need to know about this at the moment. And there's lots of really good information as well you can read, and you get to see everybody else that's involved with this. I really do wish you. I've got so much empathy. I've got too much empathy, I suppose. I'm kind of like, I want to help you, and I want to help you, and I want to help you. But I really do hope you do well with this because it's a good cause.
Thank you so much for talking about it. It makes a big difference to us.
No, you guys are Salopians, and you're doing good things. So I'll definitely have you on. You know, no problem. What I'll do is I'll let you get on with your day at work, and I'll finish off chatting with your pops. And thank you very much for chatting to me.
See you soon,
Thank
Ellie.
you very much.
Thank you very
Lovely
much.
to see you both. Thank you. Bye.
See you now. So that was Ellie. She's gone now. We can finish off the show. You seem really proud of her, what she's doing there.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's great. Yeah, I mean, she's the oldest of my 3 kids. I'm proud of all of them. But they've all made themselves cut themselves out of space in the world, which is terrific. Really, you worry about your kids. I mean. But they're doing very well. Yeah,
fantastic.
And they've got good partners, and in good position.
Despite the position they're in and the jobs that they've got, which are brilliant, you know, it's that having that kind of want to kind of help people is kind of something I'd be proud of my kids when they get older. If they wanted to go out and help people and have that kind of drive, I'd be like, I won.
Yeah,
you know, I won the dad game. You know, so congratulations on that. That's really cool. What are you going to do this again next year? Have you got ideas to maybe go a bit bigger and better next year? Because
I'm a sort of person who is always up for something if there's something going. It depends what it is. You know, I want to get involved in the Darwin Festival again next year. I'd like to get lots of other things.
Yeah, I've actually written that down.
The poetry thing is something I've done before because I founded and directed for the first 2 years the South Downs Poetry Festival.
I was going to ask you about that. I wrote that down. Poetry.
I've got sort of. I'm not. Extensively. I mean, I write poetry very badly, by the way, very, very badly.
I'm sure it's
Whatever
not.
you do, never buy anything that I've written. But Ellie's a poet as well, but she's a performance poet. She's a much better poet than me. But there's poetry is certainly growing in Shrewsbury. There's a lot of poetry events going on, and that's good.
I find it really powerful, poetry. I work with a colleague who loves her poetry, and she'll read a poem to me, or she's very animated when she says it, and I almost don't know where to look when someone's reading poetry to me, and I think it's because it's so powerful. It's a great art, though, you know, to be able to not only to write it, to perform it, you know, is a great thing.
Well, anybody can do it. Anybody can write poetry. Not necessarily any good, but I encourage people to try and write creatively. It's just about relaxing and, you know, banging things down on a piece of paper and then spending the next 6 months putting them together into something that's viable. I mean, it's kind of, you can teach people to write poetry.
Yeah, I bet.
And as long as we live in a world where everybody's very straitjacketed, and this is what I am, and, you know, you can't write poetry like that. You have to relax and really, you know, sort of take your time and then think about it more carefully, but it has to come out naturally to start with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Anything going on with that? Have you got any plans?
Well, I've just signed up to go to the Welshpool Poetry Festival, which is just down the road, and that's third year, not sure. I went last year, and it was very good, really, really good. So Let me see, 7th, 8th, 9th of June this year. in
Oh,
Winchport.
okay. Send me a link. I'll put it on the Facebook.
Yeah,
group.
yeah. Do have a look at it. It's I think they've got trying to think. They've got Jonathan Edwards, who is a poet who's won the Costa Poetry Prize before. School teacher from South Wales, really nice guy, Jonathan. Lovely poetry. And I've forgotten who else they've got.
There is a girl in Wrexham at the moment.
I think I know what you're going to say. I've forgotten her name, but she did a gig for me, and I did a poetry gig last year, or was it the year before? Last year.
I found an excerpt from the leader. It's a young girl.
Yeah.
Evra?
Yeah, that's right, Evra. Yeah, she's
Evra
really good.
Rose, right?
Yeah, Evra Rose, yeah. She's a very good performance poet and very committed, and it's a real. She writes from the heart, and it's very good stuff. Yeah, yeah.
I remember seeing she put a video because I grew up in Wrexham. I grew up there, and as much as I wasn't a big fan of the town, I am very much in awe of the pride of the people because
yeah.
And I saw her thing on Facebook. This is the same video now, and you know how I was saying that poetry kind of. Oh, it makes me look away, and sometimes I find it really hard to stomach. This actually, I watched it and I was like, "Oh, it was really good. It was really strong. She's really proud about it."
If you don't like poetry, it's because you haven't found the right kind. Yeah, there are so many different kinds of poetry.
Would you agree with that? Rap is poetry.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good. I really like that.
I mean, anything that is about using words in a way that is artistic or is different to just stating your meaning straight off. Anything that is a little bit more that uses metaphor or uses rhythm is poetry. So we have prose poetry these days. We have all sorts of poetry, and there is certainly a poetic expression for everybody. But I think that the thing is, people tend to get thrown rather strange poetry at school. Encouraged to write something which is rubbish, and then they disappear and they never look at it again, and that's a mistake, really.
I think I could write poetry if I had a bit of time to think about it. Like I had a guy who's doing a rap battle at the Butter Market on the 15th here last week, and these guys they come up with raps on the spot. They kind of think about these instantly.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't do that. That's a very special kind of clever.
You always got something in the back of your mind you can pull out, and people do that on slam poetry as well, which is very similar.
What is slam poetry? I've heard
it's just a competition thing where you basically you have normally performance poetry, often sort of semi-rap, competing against each other, and the audience chooses whichever. I find it a bit too in your face, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I used to be. I was a guerrilla poet for years, and I've given I'm getting too old for that now, so I don't do that so much. But you old men approaching you in the street and saying, "Can I read you a poem?" It's getting more dangerous, particularly the way the streets are these days. That to me is the ultimate expression of poetry. If you can move somebody you've never met before and isn't expecting it. I've made people cry in pubs when they're not expecting a poem, and that's my kind of poetry.
I'm glad to hear that you're really open-minded about it, especially with the whole rap thing, because I feel like if you've got a creative outlet and you've got a way, if you find it as a way to kind of escape for a bit and then create something at the same time, do it by all means. Write something down. You'd be surprised.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's like music. I mean, there are 1,000 different types of music. They're all music, and somebody might like Mozart, and they probably wouldn't like the Grateful Dead. It's a kind of but somewhere in between. And there may be people who like both Mozart and the Grateful Dead. And you just the only way you can find out is experience as much as possible. I mean, I read quite a lot of poetry. And there's a lot of poetry that I find I can't understand, and I don't, a lot of modern poetry is very, very esoteric, or some of it is very esoteric.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is also very accessible and easy.
Especially with social media and the internet, you can grab anything now, I guess. Yeah. Have you got a favourite at the moment that you're reading?
Favourite poet?
Yeah. Maybe you want to give someone local a shout out or anything? Yeah.
Well, last night I was reading Liz Lefroy's pamphlet. Liz lives in Shrewsbury and runs the poetry open mic, which takes place at St Nick's on it's on Facebook. I was going to say the third Thursday in the month, but I'm not quite sure that's true. But it's at St Nick's. If you look at Facebook, if you look at Shrewsbury open mic or Shrewsbury poetry, you'll get that there. Liz is a nice poet. I like Liz's stuff.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Well, I hope that what you're doing with child.org, it does what it's supposed to do and more, And I really feel like there's always room for something new in Shrewsbury. I mean, maybe we could get our heads together and create a child.org. I don't know. I don't say festival, but festival's a word that's thrown around Shrewsbury quite a lot because it's what the kind of town it is.
Yeah, we're getting like the Orkney Isles, aren't we? A festival every week.
We're party town.
Yeah.
But maybe there's something we can do to really, fill the buckets, as I say.
I think the reason we haven't had a poetry festival in Shrewsbury is because there has been a tradition of a poetry festival in Wenlock, of course, and so a lot of people in Shrewsbury have supported the Wenlock Festival, and the Wenlock Poetry Festival is still ongoing, but it isn't a big festival like it has been in the past, which was sort of attracting one of the biggest poetry festivals in the country.
And it's a shame. It's a shame because
I mean, you've got a place like I've just got the last hotel room in Welshpool for the Poetry Festival to stay one night because there's only one hotel in Welshpool, and there were no Airbnbs. In case you want to look, I've looked. So you go on the train. There's only one hotel, and the prices seem to go up dramatically during the festival, which is very
funny how that happens, right?
Yeah,
when you need
whereas, Shrewsbury perhaps hasn't got enough hotels, but at least there's a choice of places to stay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's quite welcome.
I think if you're going to run serious festivals, it's important to have that kind of infrastructure and that capability, and then of course you get pushed to running them in places where nobody wants to come, like in the middle of winter and stuff.
I'll tell you what I heard the other night actually, and I don't mean to bring it up, something I did on a different show, but I was speaking to a very famous guy from back in the noughties called John Edney from a band called OPM. They were big. They sang Heaven as a Half Pipe, and we were doing this on interview. And he goes, "Hey man, you're from Shrewsbury, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Is that near the Iron Bridge?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, man, we did a music video right there." Yeah. And you can go on YouTube, you can see that there's in a field in Shrewsbury, there's a guy sat topless drumming in a field. I was like, God, you guys are from LA. It must have been freezing. It was just really odd to hear, like these people just suddenly start talking about places around Shrewsbury and Iron Bridge. Yeah. We're famous.
Yeah, yes, just the right venue for any film location. Any film location people there now, just
it's got so many amazing.
Get in touch with
buildings.
us, and we'll find you somewhere in Shrewsbury.
Yeah, absolutely.
It isn't just Charles Dickens and Christmas Carol.
And these guys weren't exactly doing a period piece either.
No, sure they weren't. No. Yeah, the Tudor stuff is there, but we do rock stuff as well.
Is there any event that's coming up? We've just finished the Darwin Festival now. Is there anything coming up now that you are interested in? Like, that's made your ears prick up?
I mentioned the Welshpool Festival. I mean, there are other poetry events coming up. I can't think of any. There's none that I'm involved in. I mean, there seems to be. I find that in Shrewsbury, suddenly things happen and you don't necessarily hear about them. On Wednesday night, I'm going to the Henry Tudor House, as a comedy act on.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
The name of the comic. And it's like, 31 Days is pretty good reference document for what's going on in Shrewsbury, but even that doesn't catch everything. And there are things going on. I tend to go to the Whiteman Theatre, and they seem to be getting together and doing some new stuff. They've got Frankenstein, big production of Frankenstein coming up. And that's a professional production, and that's the only venue in Shrewsbury that does proper professional plays. All due respect to the Seven Theatre, they just bring people in for a night who are doing tours. And some of that's very good, and there's quite a few things going on at the moment, but it's not the same as doing a proper play run for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever, which is what they do at the Whiteman.
I do want to get to a show at the Whiteman at some point.
I'll go and see Frankenstein.
Yeah, I might do.
Speak to him night, so they might give you a press ticket.
I will get in touch actually because I do want to help like a theatre or something, kind of help push the agenda. Well, look, thank you very much for coming on again. We've had to have a real good natter this time. Last time was kind of like, Darwin Festival, let's go. We did the sidebar thing, which was really good.
Yeah.
How was that? I mean, is there enough indication there that you're going to bring another sidebar back?
There are people who are interested. I mean, I'm a bit embarrassed about that because I'm not a scientist.
No.
I'm supposed to be a poet. And I brought two very well known scientists to the festival on the basis that they were the two scientists I knew. I'm kind of out of famous scientists now.
Yeah.
But there were a number of people who want to get involved in running the sidebars. They were successful, and
they were.
I think we'll probably do them again. Yeah.
I mean, you doubled your numbers, didn't you, on the second night?
Yeah, there's about 30. And also the lectures at the university. I mean, the second one was about 60 people, and quite a lot of kids there, which is great because they get to see somebody who's actually done a career in science. So,
wow.
I think that's important. I'd like to see more connectivity between things that are going on and the schools and the colleges and so on.
Yeah, it sounds great. I mean, there's a market and a hunger for this kind of thing. So I think we should do it. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show again.
Thank you, Alex. It's been great talking to you.
It's been great talking to you too. Guys, remember, check out child.org. And make sure you check out Team Mom. There's the red letters at the top of the website.
Yeah, the poetry event at my place, by the way, on the 20th is on Facebook. It's a public event on Facebook, so you might find
that as well. That's one of the reasons why you're here. Check that out, guys. I'm going to be there. Come say hello to me, if anything, But yeah, wine, cheese, and poetry sounds like a great night. Thank you very much for coming on, and I hopefully get you on again to talk about something else. Poetry maybe.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys. Make sure you give this episode a like and a share and a subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Thank you.
Bye.